Today, I'm talking about little guys, little parlor guitars, and why Larrivee is very popular within this community. I got one to show you, so stick around. How's it going, y'all? My name is Cooper Greenberg, and I am at Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fun stuff to show you, and we want you to be shown it. So subscribe. It's a good time. Like I said, I got a little guy in the studio today, and I'm not talking about The Little Man by the Wayans Brothers. I'm talking about the 040 Rosewood from Larrivee. Now, we just picked up this line. As you can see, there's been a lot of Larrivee videos because we're trying to show them off. And in the process of bringing on a new brand at our store, just like anything else, you got to put together an opening order and you got to choose what you want as kind of the, introduction, right? You're choosing which models, which series, which woods, all that stuff. It's a very fun part of the process. And, we wanted to get a variety. But part of that is you kind of ask the people that work there, hey, what are some of your top sellers? So we know that we're going to catch people's eye. And also you look through all kinds of message boards and other websites of dealers that sell them, and you try to sort of suss out what are some of the top selling models that are not the kind of no-brainer go-tos, right? So there's a large retailer that is not us that, very interestingly enough, had their top seller for Larrivee be a parlor guitar. And then we dove in and read a lot of what people like with Larrivee and the Larrivees that people collect and all that. And parlor guitars kept coming up. And so we knew, obviously we like to play them, but, it's a less prevalent body shape and style of guitar than a triple O or a Dreadnought or an OM or a Grand Auditorium with a cutaway. So I like that. I like a parlor guitar, and I like little guitars because they are always just totally different to play. They're very comfortable, and they're something that you don't see as often. And I've got more to say on that. But first off, this is the single 040, 040, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you're looking through Larrivee, as we've said in these videos thus far, they split up the line between the contemporary stuff and the traditional stuff. And this would be on the traditional side. If you're looking to see why P, obviously, which stands for parlor, is on the contemporary side, but you don't see a P40. It's just a different naming convention. It's the same exact body shape, same size. So this is the same sort of guitar as their parlor in the contemporary series, but it's just a more traditionally named O. You know what I'm saying? So this is the same size as you would see in like a P03 or a P09, whatever you want to call it. But this is the 040. In the 40 series, this is the Rosewood side of that series, so you can get this guitar in mahogany as well if you want. But this is a spruce rosewood parlor guitar, bound in maple, very nice little kind of rope purfling, and on the rosette, ebony on the bridge, ebony on the fingerboard, simple diamond inlay, bone nut, mahogany neck, open gear tuners on the back. Now, in their differentiators between the new and the old style, bracing on this guitar is going to be more traditionally braced. This is very similar to a Martin bracing, scalloped X bracing, hybrid. So it's something that I think Chris has talked about on his videos for these guitars, but also very interesting to look at their website and kind of see the difference in the bracing. This is a more old school style of bracing. So you get a vintage sound. But the special thing about this guitar is the Moon Spruce. So, everybody's got their thing, right? Every brand has their thing. Most of the time, different spruces are reserved for super high-end models or custom shop models. You have probably heard of European spruce. You might have heard of high-altitude spruce from other brands. The Moon Spruce is another one of those things that Larrivee lovers and people that like these guitars kind of get into. And before we picked up the line as dealers, we had a very cool trade-in that was a 9 series from them with a Moon Spruce top. And the Moon Spruce legends say that the wood is harvested at high altitudes during specific lunar phases. That could be seen as who cares, or it could be seen as super rock and roll and kind of spooky. So whatever. But this is an upgraded top on here. We got this guitar with a regular Sitka top, and we got it with the Moon Spruce top. I'm showing off the Moon Spruce top today. We got a few other Moon Spruce tops on a Parlor with Silver Oak and on a Jumbo, which was really cool. And this is the only one that's left. And so I wanted to talk about their small body guitars. We had the Moon Spruce left. Why not go for the Moon Spruce? Because that is a thing that you can find all the time, all over their guitars, but it's a nice little sort of upgraded spruce that doesn't cost a ton extra, and it's just a nice little thing. So here's the deal about a small little guitar like this, and why I think it's cool that Larrivee does that all throughout the line. You don't see them really in any of the other big old guitar brands, especially stuff that's a little bit more on the affordable side. So the single O that Martin makes right now, with the spruce top and rosewood back and sides, would be a Modern Deluxe single O 1228, and that guitar is basically twice the price of this. Taylor doesn't make a guitar this shape, but they don't make a guitar this size unless you're looking at more of a GS Mini kind of travel guitar, and that's not going to be all solid wood. Ferk does, and it's a Pioneer, but it's definitely different shape. It's got a cutaway. It's not as traditional, and it's not as sort of adorned as this with our shell case and all that. So then you get into other brands like Gibson and Yamaha and Guild and Alvarez. I mean, Alvarez makes a Parlor shape. Guild makes a Parlor shape, but they're not quite like this, and not, I don't know. This is a very traditional style. Everybody's got their own take on it. But what I'm trying to get at here is they're not prevalent in every single part of the line. You can't get a P03, P09, 040. You know, they make really, really nice ones. They make really, really affordable ones. I just think it's a cornerstone of their sort of whole line. They make this guitar, and you got a lot of options for woods and stuff like that. I think it's great. So that being said, this is 24-inch scale, which I think a lot of people would like. They want a nicer guitar, something a little kicked up aesthetically and component-wise with nicer woods, but they want a short scale. A lot of times that is going to be a travel guitar. And this is a 1 3/4-inch nut width. Again, something that I think people would like. You usually get a narrow nut with a short scale, and this is a short scale, and it's really fun to play. So that's enough blabbing about it. I want you guys to hear it. I'm mostly finger picking because I think that works really great. The Moon Spruce, it's, you know, European spruce. It's going to be a little less dense than Sitka. It's going to allow it to breathe a little bit more. It's got a really nice sweet sound. But then I pick up the pick, strum it. It's got a big sound, and it's definitely for the other people that have bought Parlors from Larrivee so far, that's been sort of the most surprising thing, is how loud it can get. But it's got less surface area, so it takes less effort to really drive it and make a big old sound. So take a listen. there you have it. A little bit on the single O40 Moon Top parlor guitar from Larrivee. Now, this guitar sits sort of right in the middle with their line. You can get something a little stripped down from here, and you can definitely get something a little bit more from here. But this is an all solid wood, wood-bound, hard shell case, made in the USA guitar with spruce and rosewood, and it's a little guy. But a lot of people want that. A lot of people want a nicer kind of little guy in their collection. And this right now, list price is $24.49. Double check our website, make sure I'm right on that. But $24.49, that's going to be, I think, in the market, a very, very good price for a guitar that hits all those things that I said earlier. It's all solid wood and it's rosewood. It's an upgraded top, and it's made in the USA. It's got a hard shell case. It looks beautiful. It's got wood binding. I just think it's great. So this guitar is a winner. I would love to get some more of their parlors in here. We had a silver oak one with the moon top, koa binding. Awesome guitar. Binding, that's what it's all about. But yeah, I think if you're looking for a small guitar like this, we get sort of like peel back the curtain of guitar store living. A lot of times, it's rarely somebody that says, I want a 00018. Do you have one? It's somebody that's like, I've been doing a lot of research and I know I want 1 3/4 inch scale, but I'm looking, nut width, but I'm looking for a scale length under 24 3/4. What's out there for me? And then you pull something up and you're like, this exists. And it's like, well, I want rosewood. Okay, well, let's keep looking, And so the thing that I really like about Larrivee is a lot of their guitars fit those descriptions without being crazy, crazy expensive, and they're descriptions that I have not had a very easy answer for before. A lot of times it turns into a thing, well, we're going to have to do a custom shop. And then sometimes we talk about custom shop guitars and we say, that's the only brand that can do this. And then somebody in the comments, more often than not, says, well, you should check out the Larrivee, blah, blah, blah. And so now we got Larrivee. I'm starting to see how a lot of their guitars and a lot of their options, the breadth of their line and what they can do, fit into some of these more specialized cases and do it with a guitar that, yeah, it hits all the marks, but does it sound good? Yes, it sounds really good, and it's very easy to play. They got comfortable necks, and they're just nice to look at, and it's a brand that I think has a long enough history to where people trust it, but also has a lot of hidden gems that people don't know about sort of en masse. So I've been excited with them. I think this is a great choice for a lot of people that are looking for a more kicked up, nicer guitar that hits some of the sort of specs that you can really only get sometimes in a travel guitar or something that's not going to get everything going for you. This is a nice in-between. Price-wise, it's a nice in-between when it comes to US-made guitars. Definitely on the lower end from most of the brands that we carry, whose barrier of entry now is $2,000 or above $2,000. So you can get a parlor from Larrivee, and you're going to love it, and it's a really, really fun guitar to play. And I think it sounds good, but I'd like to hear what you think. Please put in the comments what you think about the Larrivee guitars. If you're a big fan of them and you're like, hey, if y'all like that, you should carry this guitar. It's a little lesser known in their line. We're still learning about it, so we'd love to learn from the Larrivee lovers, if that's enough alliteration for you today. If you want to know more about this guitar or the Sitka Top version, they're both on our website, and you can find the detailed specs there. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.